Hey, if you're a looper and you've seen one of my great loop videos, I thought I'd give you an update on my friends John and Deanna and their tugboat Stuga. They started their great loop officially on Monday, August 19th, heading out of the Sturgeon Bay Ship Canal into Lake Michigan and down to Chicago. From there, they headed south to the Joliet Freewall and met up with 7 other loopers. Then all 7 boats traveled in a flotilla down the Illinois to the mighty Mississippi. They passed through St. Louis on September 6th and headed up the Ohio River to the Cumberland. Currently, John and Deanna are on their way to Nashville for the Packers-Titans game on September 20th. After that, they're headed to Joe Wheeler State Park for the fall rendezvous, where I hope to meet up with them myself. Hey, a couple of people have asked me, how did they fix their transmission from my last video, Disaster at Sea? Well, here's that story. So how'd you fix it?
So after 2 hours and a little bit of lunch, I said, I gotta figure this out. I pull out the service manual for the transmission. I can't find anything about anything serviceable other than what we did. And deep in the bowels of the manual on page 22, it talked about removing the bearing plate and the housing. And then it said, and remove the 3 bolts that retain the cap for the filter. I'm like, filter? That's new information. And so we figured out where that was. I got down on my hands and knees, crawled through the cabinet. Deanna held her hands out while I unscrewed these screws, because once the screw falls or the plate, God forbid, we pull that out, and this little tiny mesh tubular cylindrical filter was packed. It looked like Vaseline with sludge and dirt. And so I said, well, we need a new one of these because certainly want a spare. And I tore the gasket, so I went into Kathy at Centerpoint. I said, Kathy, do you know anybody at Twin Disc? And she goes, yes, I do. I'm just getting ready to leave, but what do you need? So I explained the situation. She called a guy at Twin Disc. He had 2 filters and 5 gaskets. I said, I'll take them all. He could have probably sold me 20 or 30 at that point. So he said, do you want us overnight? I said, yeah, probably. And that was going to be $300. He says, well, where are you at? We said, well, we're in northeast Wisconsin. He goes, whoa, well, the parts are coming from Middleton, near Madison. If I ship them today, they'll probably be on the truck ground for you on Monday. And they were. So we cleaned out the fluids, purged, cleaned, used kerosene, cleaned it out, reassembled everything, put it back together on Monday, started it up, put it in gear, put it
Wow.
Sea trial, past sea trials, and it's been working ever since. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
So that was our little disaster.
Wow, how fortunate for John to have seen that in the manual and then to be able to fix it so quickly, or their great loop may never have even gotten started. It just shows you how important it is to have just a little bit of troubleshooting skills as a looper or an RVer. And by the way, if you haven't seen my Disaster at Sea video, I'll leave a link for you below so you can check out the whole story. Right now, I'm cleaning and packing up the van, and we're headed out to Utah for a month to Arches and Zion and Kanab to do some epic hiking.
Nothing but switchbacks now.
And with a little luck, in some very special places. Then on down to Albuquerque for the Balloon Fiesta, up to Santa Fe, and finally to Denver. So I'll have lots of grand adventures on the channel coming your way. In the meantime, safe travels to you, and I hope to see you out there on the road.